Shh. Hi everyone and welcome to episode 113 of the Talk is Cheap show. I'm honoured to say we have a great show lined up today with some special guests. Let me start off by introducing my first guest to my left in special significance given that it's Women's History Month. Joining me to my left, the doyenne, the matriarch of AFTV, Pepe in the house.
Hey! I'll shout out myself. Thank you.
And also to what, my far
To my
right?
left, yeah.
To your left.
Yeah.
A man who really needs no introduction. He joins us on the show every week. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big digital round of applause for Curtis Shaw from Curtis Shaw in-house research. Curtis Shaw TV in-house research.
I'm sure you're just making up words at this point.
Why? What's wrong with what he said?
He just pulls out words I've never
I know, what's
heard.
doyenne? I've never heard that one.
No, I don't know.
Heard
It's
that
like
one.
the female Don.
Is that actually a
fair
word?
enough.
Yeah, of course, man.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
The matriarch, yeah.
He comes,
You don't agree
you're
with
like
that? You
a
don't-
walking
you
like
don't like the
thesaurus.
matriarch, no?
He's a thesaurus.
Yeah.
I'm not calling you Theo.
No, man, it's years of reading books. But anyway, we move on. So the first, for those of you familiar with the show, the first thing we like to do is what we call our news and notes. So we just look at items that's happened in the football world over the last couple of days that are topical. So I guess from an Arsenal perspective, the news that's got everyone talking, well, a lot of you talking, is the proposed season ticket price raise. So let me start with Curtis, because I know you got some thoughts on this. 4% hike. Some would say it's less than inflation, but it's an increase nevertheless. What's your thoughts, bro?
I mean, they're taking about a grand a season off us anyway. What's an extra £40? That's probably how they're looking at it. But
Is it justified?
no, I don't think it is. Listen, I know there's inflation and people who say, you know, they've got to make money that they've lost. I think they've lost 100 million or something they posted.
What, due to COVID or something?
Yeah, and the pandemic and everything. But I just look at it like we're paying the most expensive in the Premier League anyway. We've gone downhill over the past few years.
I think it's Europe, isn't it?
In Europe, in fact, it's more to watch El Neni and Ketia than it is to watch Neymar and Mbappe and Messi. You know,
Why you got to mention them two?
I've got to do that, man. I'm sorry, but you know, we're not in Europe. I know that there's a certain price. I think if we're in Europe, it goes up a little bit more, but. I just always look at it like Kroenke, man. You've just won the Super Bowl. You've built the most expensive stadium. It always seems like Arsenal or the fans have to pay for it.
Hit,
Yeah, so I don't agree with it. I understand this business, but no, I don't like it.
Pippa, what's your thoughts on the season ticket proposed increase of 4%?
I don't like an increase on anything. I don't like spending money. So I've got 2 season tickets. So where it might be £40 extra season, that's £80 for me. That's what you pay for another game, and whether it's another game on the calendar or not, it's not a European game, is it? Unless we get into top 4, it's not a Champions League game. So I'm giving away another £80 to watch a couple of home games. It's just not good enough.
I guess from the club's perspective, it's rumoured that they're set to announce a big loss, isn't they?
Yeah.
Operating costs and all the rest of it. So I guess that's their way of balancing the books, but hasn't gone down particularly well with most of the fans I've spoken to. People, let us know what you think. Is the 4% increase okay with you? You know, I mean, could it have been more? Do you agree with it? Do you not? Let us know.
How many season tickets are there on average, do you reckon?
I mean, what's the stadium? 60
Like
odd?
60,000,
Probably,
like
so
40.
probably 40-something thousand.
£40 times 40,000. It's not really gonna
It's not going
hit
to
their
make
target,
that.
but
no.
but still, I guess they got to add it up somehow.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, that's in keeping with the general cost of inflation. Everything's going up.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've noticed it. I went
So
to
we're
fill
gonna
up
pay
my
more
car
for
the
the-
other day, man, and the petrol prices have gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Food prices are up. Everything's up, so I guess it's in keeping with that. But hey, right. Second item I wanted to talk to you very briefly about. You would all have known by now. The fallout's happened. Bielsa, Leeds manager, or formerly Leeds manager, sacked. Let's start with Pippa. What was your thoughts on that?
Heartbreaking for Bielsa, you know. I mean, it's probably only a couple games left until he gets like key players back in the squad where they could have possibly, you know, started getting more points to climb out of that danger zone. But I just feel like I know people say it had to be done. They're losing games. What are they, 2 points away from the bottom?
Yeah.
I guess they're in
It's
a danger
precarious.
zone.
Yeah.
And
Another big word for them.
compared to how they did last season, I'm sure the Leeds fans are obviously not happy and the board are not happy with where they are. But they just had to. I feel like they could have waited out till the key players were back.
Curtis?
He's a big character, and
Yeah.
I've enjoyed his football. I know Leeds fans are really devastated that he's gone, and I agree with what Pippa's saying. Like, I think Phillips, Bamford, there's a few players who who were just coming back. But I just think those last 3 games, to concede 14 goals in a week, I think it's too much. If he could have kept that down a little bit. But he won't move from that philosophy. It's just all out attack, and they're a little bit naive defensively. And it did look like if he carried on, they're going to end up in the Championship. So I can understand why the owners have done it. But it's sad because I do think he's a good character. And I don't know too much about this new guy who's come in. But
American guy. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. But
So what happens now when this new guy comes? Is it Jesse March or something? Jesse March.
Yeah, he
and
was
they still get relegated. What now?
RB Leipzig. Well, no, I mean, he might keep them up.
He might not.
Well, I think, to be fair to the Leeds board, though, they had to do something because they seem to be like in decline, and there was no signs of it getting better, really.
Yeah.
And let's, on the positive side, Bielsa, he might save the cartilage in his knees. Because I don't know how he does that.
It's so long, like it's not like it's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You try doing that for even 5 minutes,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Trust me.
madness.
And this guy does it the whole game, every game. So he might save the cartilage on his knee. But it's never nice when somebody loses their job. But I think, I think if we're being fair, then it was kind of coming. But anyway, moving away from that, moving on to another one of our regular features, which is to review Arsenal's last game since our last show. And the last game since our last show was the Wolves game. Arsenal-Wolves build of a bit of a grudge match. Going into that game, there's 1 or 2 words being said saying that Arsenal had over-celebrated when we beat them in the corresponding fixture. And obviously Wolves are in a good run of form themselves going into that game. So it was a big game. And Arsenal came out on top, went a goal down early, but we bounced back. Pepe, 1 or 2 others come on, did their thing. Like we said, give Pepe the minutes, he will produce, and he did that. Lacazette, was it? He got the winner, or was it?
I mean, he helped get the winner.
Yeah,
But he didn't go down on his goal.
I'd like to be able to give it to him, but
I
apparently
love the fight that he showed, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll give it to him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll give it to him. We'll give it to him. Curtis, start with you. Your thoughts on that game, bro?
it was a must-win game, wasn't it? There was no way we could afford to draw. Even at 1-1, I was like, nah, this ain't good enough. Just starting on the more negative side, I think we started the game slow. You know, and I felt like we looked a little bit short of ideas how to break them down. I think if we're playing better teams, you can't afford to start the game like that if he was playing one of the top teams. But one thing I'll give them credit for, and Arteta as well, is the fight. They never seem to give up under him. And I think he made the right substitutions. He changed the formation. I think we went 2 up front. And in the end, I think we deserved to win the game.
I think we did.
And it was interesting that Wolves' time wasting led to more time added on, and we scored in that time.
Shame.
So it was like football karma, really.
Do you know why that's a lesson
perfect.
learned? Because I went to watch Wolves again on Sunday against West Ham.
Oh, okay.
And Jose Sarr definitely learned his lesson because he was not doing 1 ounce of time wasted in the game against West Ham.
Oh, wow.
Not 1 ounce of time wasted.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Pippa, what was your thoughts on the game? You were there, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I felt like for 60 minutes, we did the same thing. Balls over the top. Everyone was passing the ball to Saka over the top or to Martinelli, and it just wasn't working. We had no ideas playing out from the back. Like, for one moment, I think it was Ben White and Gabriel just kept going to me, to you. And it wasn't, they didn't know what to do. No one wanted the ball in the midfield. No one was showing for it. And it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And Wolves just knew how to break us down. So in the first half, I actually thought at half-time Wolves deserved the win. But in the second half, we came out with more character. And I love the character that the boys have because at the beginning of the season, I know I can't compare to Man City when we lost 5-0, but games at the beginning of the season where we would fall behind, I didn't see the character of players trying to get a win or trying to get back in the game. And we saw that against Wolves. And that's what we need. And I love the fact that Ramsdale celebrated and, what was it, Neves' face?
Neves,
Loved that.
I think Neves is a secret fan. I think deep down he wants to play for us, you know what I mean? But he's a bit salty, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can I ask you, me and Curtis have spoken on the show many times about it. What do you think of the Nicolas Pepe situation? Do you think, as we have said on this show, that he's perhaps not being managed the best? We think he should be getting more game time, starts even, but definitely more game time. He doesn't seem to be getting it. He got a little bit of game time against Wolves. He had an immediate impact.
Yeah.
Scored one, made the other. Is it time for him to start or at least get a lot more game time? Or are you happy with the way he's been managed today?
It's a tricky one, because since he's joined, he's been so inconsistent. So I'm not sure whether it's the managing style, whether he fits in with the style that Arsenal play, because there are games where he'll be incredible. He'll be doing all these silky skills on the ball. He'll produce, he'll assist, he'll sometimes score. And then there's some games where it's just not working at all, even when he starts. So obviously we've seen he's had a massive confidence boost since the AFCON. Because both times he's come on, since AFCON, he's played well. Before that, we wasn't seeing that, and people blame it on him not getting enough starts, but there were times he was starting and he still wasn't playing that well. So it's inconsistency. So I don't know.
I
maybe
think that's a bit of a misnomer,
misnomer,
this thing about he went to AFCON and he came back this sort of...
Well, he looks like he's got more confidence.
Player. I would argue that he was a good player before he went to AFCON.
He was,
but it's just... opportunities.
Even when he was given opportunities, though, it wasn't always 10 out of 10, was it?
Yeah,
everyone has their off
who
day.
in the team is playing at that level?
True.
One or two,
True.
Curtis, very quickly, I see you wanting to come in.
No, I think with Pepe, he needs to kind of realise what the manager wants. It's like, in football, sometimes you can't just sit there and say, this is what I've got to offer. You've got to kind of think, well, Arteta wants this out of me. If I'm going to be successful, I've got to do that. You see with Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, they just run non-stop. They run through brick walls. They look exhausted. And I feel like with Pepe, he's got to be play with a bit more intensity. When he came on, he changed the whole game.
Yeah.
He worked hard defensively as well. He's got to keep doing that. I said that last week. He's got to put Arteta in a position where you can't leave him out of the team. And I don't think he's done that enough for Arsenal. But I think with that performance...
So you think he's got to start? I mean, we'll talk about it later, Arsenal's next game.
It's difficult because he's better probably on the right and Saka plays on the right. Most people would say Saka's our main man. Even on the left, you've got Martinelli and you've got Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe's top scorer. So... who do you leave out of the team for him? It's not easy to get him in the team, but he should get more game time, definitely.
He should definitely get more game time.
Yeah, I agree. He should get more game time.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about teams in a little bit more. But right, okay, so we got the win. 3 important points. The top 4, that kind of league within a league is hotting up. And we're looking good right now. So what I wanted to talk about today on this show is, do you think that the way Arsenal are playing at the moment, and given the fact that some of the other teams in and around us are dropping points, do you think that top 4 now is something that we can realistically achieve? And I would go even further than that and say, is there now amongst fans a kind of expectation rather than the hope that we'll got the top 4? Let's start with Pepe. What do you think of that?
Again, it's a tough one because I think a big proportion of the fans will say it's an expectation now because of the games, the improvement on how Arsenal's been playing in recent times. I know there's not always been a win, but you've seen how well they've been playing on the pitch together. It took a while to get us back points on the board from the beginning of the year, but from the second half of the season, well, if you just drop out what happened at the beginning of the season, we saw an improvement. We was 20th at one point.
Yeah.
No one would even think about top 4. So now that we're getting closer and closer and we've got games in hand, there is an expectation to get there. But there's so many tough fixtures coming up. It's going to be so hard. So I guess the rest of the fans, there's a hope. I don't think there's anyone saying, actually, no, there is people saying we ain't going to get it. There are people fans saying we're not going to get it. But it's a small minority. There's fans that hope, fans that expect, and then there's fans like you. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, you do make an excellent point there. So what would you say? You on the hope or the expectation?
Now, I'm on, and I don't, my standards are so low now, but now I'm on the expectation side.
Oh, right.
Now, what I've seen, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm expecting, I know we've got some tough fixtures, but I'm expecting a top 4 now. I think after what I saw against Wolves, I can see how badly they want to win. They want to play Champions League football. And they know with Champions League football, we'll be able to get in some more signings as well.
Well, listen, you make an excellent point, and that kind of behoves me, another word there, behoves me to look at Arsenal's games coming up. So currently, at the time of recording this show, we are 6th in the table, yeah? So Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. United are currently occupying 4th on 47 points. West Ham, closely behind them on 45. Well, we're on 45 as well, so there's a 2-point difference. So it's all to play for. And then you've got Tottenham not that far behind on 42 points and Wolves. But interestingly, United have played 27 games, whereas we've only played 24. So you've got United and West Ham who are ahead of us. They've played 27 games, we've played 24. And if I could I made a little list of our running. So there's 14 games left. And as of recording this show, we got the Watford game coming up at the weekend. But after that, we got Leicester at home, Liverpool at home, Aston Villa away, Crystal Palace away, Brighton at home, Southampton away, Man United at home, West Ham away, Leeds at home, Newcastle away, Everton at home, and the Chelsea and Tottenham games to be rearranged. Now, there's some difficult games in that lot. Curtis, given that those, I mean, I know you probably have to memorise those games, but you probably know them already. You know. Do you think it's realistic that we can, because mathematically, if we do win our games, we will finish above. But obviously, that's a big ask to say we're going to win all our games. But given those games that I've just read out, do you think that we are kind of in a pole position to get that 4th place?
I think when it's in your hands, then you are in pole position. It's just my main concern with Arsenal, you look at the bigger games when we've played Chelsea, City, Liverpool, those teams, we haven't taken points off them teams. I think you said there we've got Man United at home, Liverpool at home, Tottenham and Chelsea away, West Ham away. You can't afford to lose to them teams. You've got to at least draw or beat those teams. And again, we go back to that point, do we have the firepower? You know, that can be the difference. You've seen a lot of these big games, strikers getting teams over the line. Is Lacazette going to score them goals? I mean, it's March the 1st today, and he's got 3 league goals, you know, so he's going to have to find a way over the next 2 months of turning the form.
They might share the goals around.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good thing. Obviously, Pepe and Smith Rowe and Saka.
Odegaard
as well, yeah. I think where we have got a bit of an advantage, you look at Man United are in Europe, Tottenham are in the FA Cup, West Ham are in Europe. They're going to have midweek games, injuries, tiredness. We're probably going to have 1 game a week. And I think nearly all of our squad is fit at the moment.
That's why there's an expectation. Like, I feel like there's no excuses. These other teams have got other games to play. We've just got 1 game, just league games.
If we can manage it, then we've got a chance. I think out of them 14, we'll probably have to win 8 or 9 out of them, possibly.
It's a big ask.
It's in our hands. It is a big ask, but I think at the start of the season, if you'd have said by the start of March, it's in your hands for top 4, we would have all taken that. Now, I was saying 7th and 8th at the start of the season.
No,
so
it's true though.
We're in a great position. Do you know what I mean? I want to top half of the table at that time. So we're in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, over the course of the season, things are going to happen. Injuries, loss of form, you know what I mean, transfers. There's so many things that can happen that will affect it. But as both of you said there, the way things are panned out now, we are in an excellent position to make a proper run for this 4th place. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, if we miss out, they're going to be a bit disappointed. Because, I mean, I'm going to keep it real. At the start of the season, I was like, I would take a top 6 finish. Coming off the back of 2 8th place finishes. Yeah. To have got a top 6 place would, to me, would have been a tangible improvement that I would have accepted. Don't get me wrong, I'm not asking for a ticker tape parade outside Islington Town Hall for top 6 place, but given where we'd finished the previous 2 seasons, I would have taken the top 6. But now, the way things are looking, I must admit, I'm starting to think I'd be disappointed if we missed out in the top 4. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, that's how I feel now. But like I said, there's too much at stake for the other teams. We've got games in hand, but I don't want to get ahead of that because who was it that had Man United a few months ago had games in hand and they didn't win those games. And do you know what I mean? But they're still in the running, but they've got bigger games to play outside of the league as well. Sure. You've got teams in Europe, you've got teams FA Cup, like you said. We have to take a hold of this.
Let me ask Curtis first. Given those teams that are in the running for that top 4 place, so you're looking at United, West Ham, Tottenham, maybe even still Wolves and ourselves. Who would you see as the most legitimate threat to us finishing in that 4th spot? Given that we think that it's going to be City and Liverpool challenging for winning for the title. Yeah. Chelsea most likely 3rd. So there's that 1 space left. So who would you see as your major threat?
I still think Man United. I know they're not in great form. I think if you look at it, though, I think Rangnick's only lost maybe 1 game, is it?
Oh, is it?
Or is he even lost? I think they've hardly lost. I know they've drawn. But I still think
draw specialists.
They are. Yeah. They've still got so much firepower that you think if Ronaldo has a good 6 weeks, if Sancho's starting to play well. Bruno,
Which he is.
they've just got players there that I think at crunch time will hit a little bit of a run of form, and so I still think they're the biggest threat. Wolves, I would say, have maybe with them back-to-back defeats.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're going to get fourth now, to be honest. So I would say us and Man United as the main.
Dare I say, what about Tottenham? Do you think? I mean, because they sort of blow hot and cold.
They do.
One week they
with
beat
them,
City, the next week they lose to Burnley.
They've got two things, haven't they? They've got an elite manager, and they've got Kane and Son. You know, that's the things that can give them a chance.
That is a good point.
Two great goal scorers and a great manager. They haven't got much else around that, but that does give them a chance. They are still in there, and we've got to play them at their ground as well. Yeah, it's a tough game, but.
So Curtis has gone Man United. Who would you see as our biggest threat for the top four currently?
The biggest threat I would say is Man United as well, because of the talent they have in their squad. But as crazy as this sounds, I don't think anyone should sleep on Wolves either.
Oh, really?
They've got a really good team, and they're not playing other games, are they? They're just in the league as well. Yeah. So the players they have going forward: Pedence, Neto, Neves, Jimenez, Heechan. These are players that will catch you off guard and surprise you with. I don't know what their next fixtures are, but if they could go on a good run of form as well, and they've got and Bruno Lage is heavily underrated. So those are that's the quiet team that no one's really watching out for.
I noticed none of you guys mentioned West Ham.
And I thought you was going to say West Ham. You was there.
Yeah, do you know what? I was watching West Ham actually. I said I was there. They play good football.
Yeah.
And they fight to the very end. Mikel Antonio was a bit off, I can't lie. But that's actually a team that we should be worried about.
We've still got them away as well.
But the only reason I didn't mention them is because they've got to play Sevilla. Like, they're going to want to put...
in the Euro.
I was going to say to you, with West Ham, how much significance do you think that they will attach to the Europa League?
I was talking to some of their fans at the game, and they said they want to go all for it. They said, yeah, top four's nice, but winning a trophy and getting into Champions League is better.
Yeah.
It's not just any trophy; it's the European trophy.
I can see that.
I'm not sure they've got the squad to manage both competitions. West Ham.
So they've got to
maybe go for one of them.
That's the only reason I didn't mention West Ham. Because the fans that I spoke to, they want Europe.
Yeah. Curtis, West Ham.
Yeah, no, they're a good team. On their day, they can beat anyone. But I just think, Antonio, they haven't really got a striker behind him if he gets injured.
Bowen?
And Bowen more on the wing, I suppose. But he's having a good season. But yeah, I don't think they'll get top four. I don't think they'll win the Europa League either. To be honest, they've got Barcelona and Sevilla and all them teams. But they've had a good season. I think Moyes is overachieving at West Ham, really, when you look at the money he's spent.
He's a good manager, though.
Yeah, he's done well. Yeah, he's done well there. But I don't think they'll quite have enough. But they're up there.
So Man United?
Man United, biggest rivals.
Not Wolves?
Not Wolves. I think two
Wolves will get
defeats
higher
in
than
a
everyone's
week.
thinking.
They might creep up a little bit. I couldn't see them overtaking Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United and West Ham. I think that'd be a bit too much. But they are good. They've done very well this year.
Yeah.
I would agree with you guys when you say Man United probably represents the biggest threat, and it's for the reasons that we've spoken about. They've just got that extra bit going forward, isn't they? With the kind of players, Ronaldo, you know what I mean? Even guys like Rashford who are not in form at the moment, you get the impression that's not going to last forever. He's soon going to hit form again. They've got Cavani to come back in.
Of course,
and like you said, Pippa, you got the boy Jadon Sancho. He's starting to hit a bit of form now. So they are starting to look more of a team now. So I'm a bit worried about them. And like you said, you can't write Tottenham out either.
Yeah, you can't.
With the firepower they got going forward, I know defensively they're not great. And we've had the manager expressing his concerns and, throwing his toys out the pram. But I think
he said that was tactical.
I think that was.
Trying to hype everyone up.
Yeah, I think that was. So I think anything to try and get a reaction from the players. It kind of worked in their last game. So you can't write them out. It's an intriguing race, isn't it? I think it's gonna go down to the wire.
That North London derby is gonna be important every season. It's gonna be so important
as well, I think.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, this is probably one of the most exciting ends to the Prem for a while because the City-Liverpool title race, you've got the top four. Relegation's still kind of up in the air as well.
It is,
So it is a
Imagine
good
it all goes down to the last day.
I know.
I actually think it will.
I don't want it to
I've been saying this for a while.
Then every game's on at the same time at 3 o'clock. And it's too much to pay attention to. It's too much to pay attention to.
Yeah, man. I mean, there was a few years ago a similar thing happened, didn't it? When we went down to the last game and we triumphed over them. We got the top 4 place.
Oh, I remember because I remember when everyone took the picture in the change rooms, like we literally just won a trophy.
Celebrated, yeah.
Oh man! If you was to show that picture to a 15-year-old now, they'll be looking like, "Where's the trophy?"
Yeah, you did win.
It's kind of crazy that we sort of had this big thing about top 4 place.
Wenger said top 4 was a trophy,
No,
didn't he?
it felt
Maybe
like
he was
it.
right.
Was that the season that the last day Newcastle beat Tottenham like 5-2 or something like that? Was it that season? Was one? I remember that season. I can't remember the
While
score,
we're
but
on that,
Newcastle
while
beat
we're
them.
on that, I want to ask you this question. We know what Curtis thinks. Me and him have had this debate on the show several times. So, if someone says to you, right, you can have top 4 or you can win a trophy, domestic trophy. Let's say the FA Cup, which obviously we're not going to get this year. But if you, at the start of the season, I said, listen, you have a choice. You can only have one. Top 4 place or a trophy. Which one would you go for?
What's the rules on the FA Cup now?
Oh, here we go.
Because I always forget FA Cup that you win it and then you can also get into
Europa League, FA Cup, innit? And
That's
I
it,
think Carabao Cup's Conference League.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I said. I said, for me, it's about glory. I'm old school. People
want the cup.
they'll tell straight out, I'm a lot older than you guys. For me, it's all about trophies, bro.
Yeah,
if you're giving me the choice between top 4 and winning the trophy, I'll go trophy all day long. I'd even take the
with you on
Carabao
that.
Cup.
My argument back to him was that I'm about the trophies as
Yeah.
well, but I'm saying for Arsenal right now, the position we're in, I think a Champions League spot does more for us than winning the FA Cup.
So I'm with you on that because that's why it took so long to answer, because I'm all about the trophies
You with
too.
me or you with Kurt?
But at the same time, we've won a couple FA Cups in recent years. I've enjoyed it. We've had that glory.
sorry, Laurie.
But we need to try and aim for something different now and live life differently. Like, expectations will be different when you're in the Champions League. How much further can we go in the Champions League with the squad that we have? Like, let's focus on something else.
We need to hear that music.
Trophy is amazing, but I missed that anthem, man. The lights. We don't even have a light show, bro. Like, I missed
So
that.
you want the music over the trophy?
want the
Is that what you're
music,
saying?
man.
Yeah.
Need that vibes.
You see what we see? This is indicative of the modern age, you see.
Do you know what?
It's all about...
We need it,
It's all
man.
about the swag
Arsenal fans
nowadays.
are going to get onto me for this, but I miss Champions League so much. I go to other games to watch
days.
Champions League football.
But can you
I went
remember
to
what
Man
life
City,
was like in
PSG,
those
I go to
Champions
other-
League days? I remember going to games, man. On
5-1 Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Right? And you think to yourself, okay, we're in the Champions League, but it's almost like we're just making up the numbers. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
if we're
get
there
you.
yet in terms of...
So when will we be there? So when, should we wait 20 years?
Well, you know what you said about, building the club by, being qualifying for Champions does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not dismissing the argument. It's just that I would like to see us when we're in these competitions make a meaningful challenge rather than just making up a number saying, yeah, we took part.
No, I
what I
get
mean? But hey, and we know what Curtis thinks. But yeah, it's
All
interesting.
that
that
music,
you-
man. Tuesday
I get
nights.
you.
I need
I
it.
miss it.
We won the FA Cup, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It didn't do that much for us in terms of pushing the club forward.
Yeah, I guess you could say.
You
that.
want to, on every transfer window, you want to talk about, let's get this player, let's get that. You can't get them if you're not in
Can't get 'em.
Champions League.
They want it.
They don't think about,
I'm
I
not
want to
sure
go
if
there
the
when FA
stats bear
Cup.
that out because some of our biggest signings of recent years have not been when we've had Champions League football.
Such as Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. Apparently, we're not allowed to mention his name
No,
on the
no,
show.
you
Who
don't
said?
ban his name now.
Who said?
No, the comments
Every
get
time I
triggered.
mention his
Oh, is
name,
it?
I
Sorry.
got people coming at me in the
Sorry, guys.
comments.
Don't talk about his goals, nothing. They forget.
What? Why?
We're not allowed to mention the
You can't
fact that he's
delete him
got
from the
5
memory.
goals in his last 3 games. But hey, sorry, not allowed to
You
mention
can't
that.
delete him from the memories. He
Well,
was just here a few
apparently you
months
can.
ago.
Apparently you can. But anyway,
Yeah, leave it.
we'll
Wow.
leave that. We'll leave
He
that.
scored more in 3 games than Lacazette all season. But nah.
We'll leave that one.
I still love you.
And what we will do, so, right, just to
Round
confirm
up,
then,
yeah.
so definite top 4 for
The
you.
music, Champions League.
No, I mean in terms of expectation, you want that top 4, you think we're going to get it, that's it.
I'm hopeful. I'm more in the hope category than
Oh,
expectation.
you're hopeful?
I'm hopeful.
Okay, your expectation.
No pressure, lads. I'm expecting top 4.
Yeah.
I'm expecting it.
For
and so are
me,
they.
I think I'm kind of leaning towards expectation now. The way things are panning out, I think it's in our hands mathematically. Again, I know statistics, it doesn't always match up, but I think it's there to play for, man. Man United also have the distraction of the Champions League.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Right, okay, moving on then to the final regular feature of our show, and it's what we call our Ops of the Week. Fairly
Ops of the
self-explanatory, which is where we briefly preview Arsenal's next game. So our next game is Watford away this weekend. Let me start with our special guest, Pepe. How do you see that going?
Do you know what? I haven't really focused on this fixture because, as silly as it sounds, and I hope I don't get clipped for this.
Ticking it off in your head.
Yeah, in my head, I'm
win.
just like, pass that one because it's a W. So I'm hoping it's a win because in the fixture list, I think about the next big off.
So that's hope, not expectation.
Yes, yeah, that's hope. So I'm hoping. No, I'm actually expecting Arsenal to
After
beat
all that big talk you were saying about expectation, how can you rock up at Watford and not expect to win?
Because my expectations are top 4. I'm looking at the fixture list and I'm expecting that one to be ticked off as a W.
Oh, okay, right. It's just that you use the word hope.
Yeah, sorry. Got to be
right. So let's look at
the
words right, man. You gotta have the words. Right. So let's pull out some receipts on Watford, shall we?
Go on.
Currently 19th place. That's second from bottom in old money. 40 points, 24 games. They've only won 5 games this season, lost 17, drawn 4.
Wait, they've got 40 points?
14.
Oh, I was going to say 40 is quite high.
Yeah.
Is it 14?
Actually, that might be wrong.
Yeah,
that might be wrong, actually. Yeah, don't quote me.
I was going to say that's a lot of
Let me
points.
get you out the mess here. They're on 19.
Oh,
19 points.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Right, so, but I did say they were second from bottom.
Yeah.
So, and it's not gone very well for them. Their last 5 games have lost 3, drawn 1 and won 1, so they're not in great run of form, although they did get a creditable draw against Man United. Curtis, what are you saying about this game, man?
This has to be 3 points.
has to be.
Nothing else.
Please
If
don't
we're
let
going
us
to
down.
get
It
top
has to
4,
be.
this has to be. Listen, I know they drew with Man United, but I watched that game. They got outplayed. United just missed chances. They could have won 2 or 3-0 easily.
They did show a bit of resilience
they
though,
did,
defensively.
yes.
And they do have
So,
some young athletic guys
Dennis.
there that will chase the game.
So,
you know
listen,
what
they got a few decent players. Roy's in charge, or Roy. And Vicarage Road, it'll be rocking, but we have to win this game. We have to. And I am confident we will beat them. I think they're going to struggle to stay up.
Yeah.
But it'll be a tricky one. They'll make it difficult.
Yeah, because in years gone by, they have given us a bit of a test. And
yeah.
I remember the Troy Deeney days when he used to give us a real battle.
I think we've got to score first. Go there, score first, quieten them down, and then hopefully take them apart. Yeah.
What kind of team would you like to see play? You think he goes with the same team, or would you like to see our man
I'm going
Pepe
to be
come
honest,
in?
I would bring Pepe in.
To start him.
Yeah, because I think sometimes you've got to let a player go when he's feeling it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I feel like right now Pepe feels good.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this. Apparently, his partner gave birth the night before the game.
Night before,
and he called Arteta at 3 a.m. or something, saying, "I want to play."
Arteta was saying you can have the day off. He was like, no. And when you think he would have known as well, like I'm going to be on the bench. He could have easily said, "Wife's given birth. I'm on the bench. Let me chill." Man said, "Let me turn up." He's putting up videos on socials, running through the forest. I'm like, yo. He's ready. Let him go, man. Let him
on some Rocky team.
Yeah, he's on some Rocky.
Running up those steps.
Yeah, man. Play him. I would play him. Definitely start him. I would.
Pippa, what kind of team? Just for any other changes?
No, the rest of it, I think the keeper, the back 4 picks itself.
I think Smith Rowe is likely
I was going to say, he's still out.
Depends if Tomiyasu's back as well.
Oh, yeah.
If he's fit, I would play him at right back. But Cedric has done all right.
Yeah,
Xhaka and Partey, and then
you mentioned Xhaka there. You seem to
Xhaka's been
suggesting that it's an automatic start.
Yeah, why not?
No, me and you are on that, but my man, you know what I mean, he's not the biggest fan of Xhaka.
No choice.
No, but he's been playing well though.
He has, him on Partey.
No, but I need people to actually give him credit when he's been playing well.
You're on that boat as well.
No, because I don't like this.
Granit
When we
Xhaka
support a
FC.
club, when a player's doing bad, everyone's quick to say, get him out.
Yeah.
When he's playing good, give him his praise.
I'm giving him his praise. You're in the
No,
team.
you're not. You're just selecting him.
I'm selecting him. Yeah, that's your praise. Yeah, you're in the team. Him and Partey is our best partnership, isn't it? We know that.
Yeah.
We've forgotten about Lokonga already.
Now, Lokonga, he's young, but man,
Yeah,
he needs
he's
some
young.
time, innit?
Yeah, he will develop, but I think Curtis is right.
I'm hoping, you know what? I'm hoping Lacazette scores.
Please.
I know we keep saying it, but
You have to score against Watford.
give him a tap in, a penalty. I don't care how. Just get it in,
Just
get a
it
goal.
in,
You know.
Yeah. But it seems like you're very confident.
No, I'm confident. Yeah.
Give us a score prediction.
Sunday, I'm gonna go 3-1.
Same. The exact same I was thinking.
3-1.
You're going 3-1
I was thinking
as well,
3-1.
yeah?
3-1.
And the teams?
Same. So
Same team.
the
Would you
back
have
always
Pepe
pick
start
though? I don't know because
that's
is
going to be a
Milton
bit of a
definitely still
conundrum
out?
for the
We don't
manager,
know, do
isn't
we?
it?
We don't know if Emil Smith-Rowe is going to be out.
Well, there's some conjecture that he might not start.
Okay. For me, I don't know. I still want to start Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Lacazette. But in saying that, if we had to make a change, it would have to be Saka on the left, Pepe on the right, and Martinelli might have to sit out for this one. Or Martinelli up
I
front.
get the impression that
Yeah.
whoever we pick, you think we're going to win anyway. So,
Yeah.
but personally speaking, so you've gone 3-1. You've gone 3-1. I'm going to keep it consistent. I'm going with a win, but I'm going to differ from you guys. I'm going
1-0.
2-0.
I was going to say 1-0.
No. I'm confident. And listen, we haven't been scoring a whole lot of goals,
Yeah.
but I think Watford, let's be honest, man, I know they'll be fighting for their lives, but
Yeah, of course.
we'll be rocking up there. And I'm going to use that word expectation. The expectation is that we win, and I think we can do it. We're defending well.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's about time Lacazette got a goal of his own. And if Pepe starts or gets minutes, I'm backing him to come on and get one again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2-0 for me. Two clear
man.
goals. So, yeah.
Oh, clean sheet.
Nice
All
to
right.
know that we're all agreed on that. But listen, we're coming to the end of the show, and I just want to say thank you so much, Pippa,
Yes.
for coming in.
Thanks for
and
having
giving
me.
us the benefit of your astute and very knowledgeable and erudite. See, it's another one.
What? What's he
Erudite.
saying?
He's making them up.
What's he
Honestly, he's
saying?
making them up.
Erudite opinions on football. What you got? Tell the people first how they can find you on social media and what you got coming up, like TV wise, and
So you
because
can
you're
find
always
me.
rocking up on Sky, BT Sport.
Just showing off.
Yeah.
No, do you know what? I never know when it's coming up. So you'd ask me that now. I'm like, I actually don't know what's got
matriarch,
coming
man.
up. But yeah, you can find me on socials. Everything's Pippa_Monique on YouTube as well. At the moment, I'm working on my new podcast with my son.
Wow.
So we've got the Football Mum
good,
podcast
man.
where it's like an eavesdrop on a football from a 10-year-old's point of view. And we talk about his football journey and obviously
that's
the Premier
amazing.
League and stuff. I don't know when I'm next on TV. Of course, you catch me on BT Sport for the futsal next month. So yeah. Oh, we're in March now. This month. This month. Yeah.
Women's History Month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. And my man Curtis,
Yeah, man. Curtis Shaw TV. I say it every week, don't I? I'm there. I'm there
for the
every day,
people
but-
who there must be some people
must be
watching this
some,
who
yeah,
have not watched before.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Daily uploads, people.
Yes.
2 p.m.
yeah, check out his content, man. It's proper good stuff. And lastly, from me, just want to say thanks everybody for tapping in. Truly appreciate your support. Keep the show interactive. We want to know what you thought about what we said today on the show. Do you think that there's a expectation rather than a hope that we'll finish top 4? Can we beat Watford this week? Let us know. Thank you very much. Keep yourselves healthy, well, COVID-free, and we see you next week. We're out.